Hey, just Mark here. All right. So I was thinking about this after, looking at some of my YouTube comments, as well as just thinking about my life in general. Now, for the most part, people like me. However, many times people are going to dislike you. And I can definitely tell you that there are many people who've disliked me over my time. Some for legitimate reasons. Maybe I was a jerk. Maybe I made them angry. Others for no reason whatsoever, other than they felt like maybe I was a threat to different things in their lives. I remember years ago, I was friends with a girl, and her boyfriend. Even though I'd met him a couple times, I had zero intentions of doing anything, and I'd known his girlfriend for like 20 plus years. And he got uptight and decided that he didn't like me, and that's fine. So myself and that girl, and we haven't talked pretty much since. And that's okay because sometimes that's what you need in life. Think about it. Superman, Spider-Man, some of your favorite superheroes, right? There's a series of villains and people who don't like them, and try to frame them or put them in certain situations. And it's okay for people to dislike you. I mean, no single person is perfect. Heck, I know people who I thought liked me and turned around and gossiped about me after. And sometimes that was hard to take because these are people who I thought were friends, people that I'd given my time to, my energy to, maybe cook things for or spent time with helping them. And as it turns out, they didn't like me. They disliked me. And I always tell people, and this is a thought in my own life, if you have people who dislike you or you have some haters, then you're doing something right in life. Because most people, when they dislike you, see something in you that they wish they had. Unless you've blatantly done something, of course. But most people who just dislike you for disliking you, they're not going to like you because of the fact that they see an inadequacy in their own life. Think about it. I'm here on YouTube and I'm trying daily to put out some good content and chat about my life a little bit, my experiences. But there are people who make comments, and there's only one I've had to delete that was pretty extreme. But other than that, they've all been pretty good. Think about some of your favorite celebrities or YouTubers out there. You know, look at their comments, especially if it's a YouTuber. Man, people are going to make comments all the time. And what I think when it comes to people who dislike me, once I realize it, then I know not to expend any more time with them or in the area in which they are. And that's been tough lately to deal with because there are some people in the last year and a half who I thought were friends of mine who decided that once they were done with whatever I'd provided them in their life, that I was no longer a friend. And that's okay. I've learned to accept that because you've got to find the people who are going to be positive and like you for who you are. I have friends who have seen my biggest flaws. They've seen me at my lowest points, and they've always been there for me. And I've got a lot of long term friends who have supported me throughout everything I've done, every downfall. Some people told me I've got a lot of emotional resilience and that I'm the guy that they look up to when it comes to bouncing back from something. As I go on this YouTube journey, I'm going to share more stories of bouncing back in life. And I was always the guy who would just bounce back, find something positive, find something to run with. And I think about that and think, gosh, the people who are there for me are the important ones. And there's times when it sucks being the resilient one, but it is what it is. The point I'm trying to make is no matter what you do in life, whether it's at work, in your personal life, relationships, or even just meeting people in groups that you've just met, there are always going to be people who dislike you. And if they dislike you, that's okay. They're not meant to be your people. They're not meant to really be in your life. And you get good at ignoring the bad stuff. I'm good at tuning out the rumors and the gossip and hearing that, oh yeah, well, this person doesn't like you. I remember once someone telling me that their wife didn't like me, and they just couldn't understand that I was just a positive guy naturally. And this was, gosh, years ago. We're talking over a decade ago. And I'm still friends with that person, and he's moved on to a different relationship now. But the point is that I don't care. I don't care if people dislike me, because if there are people who dislike me, then I'm doing something right in my life. And that can be a hard thing to accept sometimes, because, well, I guess it's not hard. Like, it's not a hard thing to accept because yeah, well, it is because you want to be disliked, you want to be liked by everybody. Most people do. We want to be thought of as a good person, or the person people want to be around. And I focus on the people who want to be around me and want to spend time with me and want to hang out with me, because those are my people. You know, I've had friends, acquaintances gossip about me and tell different stories, some of them lies. But I think as I get older, I just don't care anymore. Like, you want to tell a story about me? Go ahead. You don't like me? So be it. There's plenty of others who do. And I don't know, I got to think about that after reading some YouTube comments, and then thinking about some of the stories I've heard about myself, especially in the last year. And I just think, at the end of the day, my life is good. I know people like me. I know people dislike me. I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I've got a very polarizing personality naturally. And sometimes I can draw people in really easily, and I can also push them away just as quickly. So, I don't know. My advice to you, don't worry about the dislikers or the haters or the bad commenters if you're starting out on YouTube. It's a part of it. Heck, bad commenters give you engagement on YouTube. So it still works. And I'm trying to, as I said, reply to everybody. But, anyways, tell me your thoughts. What do you think about people who dislike you? Why do we as humans crave to always be liked? And why does it hurt when people don't like us? These are important things to think about. Anyways, I'm going to see you on the next one. Cheers.